Hi guys, so episode 2 of your super helpful jars to have in your fridge, and nice and easy and quick. So today we're gonna go into the more wet food. So last week we've done some nice dry jars, and I hope you made it already. It's really amazing to have them around, and I hope you've pimped up your food since then. Today we're gonna make two sauces that we can use over the hot vegetables, over the salad, but not really just like, leaves and icebergs, but actually gonna go a bit more adventurous, especially when you boil vegetables and lentils and all the pulses. When they're hot, they take so much more flavor. So one of my favorite, the quickest thing to do is just to boil some green lentils or black lentils, whatever have you got and you like, and then while they're still hot, pour this sunflower cider dressing over them, and they will soak up all of this amazing goodness, this acidity, a bit of an oil which will just carry all the flavor, so you don't have to put another dressings on it. And those lentils that a lot of people think they are so bland and not so great, they just become something completely else. So yeah, I completely love that, and this is my absolute go-to. And another one will be soya tahini ginger dressing that again is absolutely incredible with tofu, with fried tofu, with any kind of stir fry. So absolutely get your blender on. So today I'm going to use my high-speed blender. Don't worry, you don't have to have such an amazing blender as this one. Any kind of high-speed blender will do. Even the stick one for the sunflower dressing will be fine. So let's get on it. So number one, we're gonna do the first jar. So our first jar will be the sunflower cider one. So my measuring cup. So we're gonna measure up 1/3, even 1/4 actually. I mean, it doesn't really matter so much, but yeah, 1/4 cup of the cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar here. Here we go. Then I'm gonna add 1 clove of garlic. So again, I always say that if you don't love garlic, not a biggie, don't have to put this in. Then I'm gonna squeeze around 1/4 of a lemon, so just not too much. So there is still a lot of life in here left. Pips out. Then we're just going to have 1 teaspoon of mustard. It can be Dijon mustard, it can be English mustard, any kind of mustard you like. Then I'm gonna have some rice syrup. You can also use the agave, you can also use the maple syrup, any kind of liquid sweetener that you kind of like using. So around 2 teaspoons here. The reason I'm using the rice syrup is just because there will be many more videos where I'll be using the rice syrup. So, I like to have things in the kitchen that I use. So if I buy something, I don't want to just use it for one recipe once a year, because then it's just absolutely redundant shopping. So if you already made a trip, you've made yourself, you went to the shop and you got yourself rice syrup, you may as well just be using that and just play with the flavor combination. So yeah, we're just gonna have a tiny drizzle of soya, like literally just even not a teaspoon. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'm gonna have to make some noise for a second. Okay, nice. So now we're just gonna measure out our sunflower oil. Okay, so we're gonna go for around 1/2 cup. So it's gonna be around 1/2 cup. I say around because it really does depend. Now on the consistency, sometimes each blender will behave slightly differently. Now I'm gonna just put it on a very slow speed. If you're using the stick blender, just basically lower it down for a second and just start pouring that in a nice kind of slow movement here. So just first like that. Then I'm going to close it and speed it up. Good, here we go. So it's all done now. So now I've got my jar ready, and this is beautiful. This is like, it's kind of like a vinaigrette, but because it's made with sunflower oil, and so that made me, quite nice amount. It's probably like 150 mils. So I'm gonna give you the basic quantities at the end, and then obviously try it yourself. If you want to double them, this will keep in the fridge for at least 2-3 weeks, so you can always have some more, and it's beautiful on your hot vegetables and lentils and things like that. Now on to the next one. The next one will be much easier, because the next one we will just be using the jar. Okay, so there is no blender, there is nothing that we need. So we're gonna have a tahini. So in the tahini I'll have probably half a cup of tahini. Okay, half a cup of tahini. So that's my quarter. And if you ask me, can you use the peanut butter instead? You can, but that's gonna taste more like a satay. Okay, so that's going to be more satay. So tahini will give you more of the sesame flavor, whereas peanut butter gives you more of this satay version. Then this is around 1 big tablespoon of a grated ginger. So we stick it all in here, grated ginger. Then I'm gonna have 1 tablespoon of a toasted sesame oil. This is a heaven. This is what makes the whole difference here. Maybe slightly more, because I've used a bit more tahini, so perhaps a bit more. Couple of tablespoons of soy sauce. Oh, good. And again, just, we just can, taste it as we go, so that's absolutely fine. And we will need some rice syrup as well, so the same rice syrup. So can you see what I mean? It's just you've got the same thing, and you are just using the stuff that you've got already. So this is called smart cooking, okay? So we don't have to have 77 trips to the corner shop for God knows what, because once your home is stocked, once you've got all those things that you need, you continue using them, and that excites you and that encourages you to use those things even more. Okay, so tahini, sesame oil, soy, rice syrup, ginger. Now, if that's a bit too thick, once I'm gonna shake it now. If it's gonna be a bit too thick and you feel like, oh, that doesn't do anything, then we always have a bit of water. So just add splash of water, literally just tiny. Yeah, here we go. That's just gonna loosen it up. Now, if you're gonna keep this in the fridge, of course, tahini, as every single nut butter, will go hard, and that's natural, that's normal. So there's nothing unusual about this. So you can always add hot water. Then I recommend using the hot water. And now here we go. This is another beautiful jar, a bit more brown. So it's still quite thick. So it's gonna be beautiful on the green beans with some sesame. And do you remember the dry spice mix we just did last week? Well, that's beautiful because there is lots of sesame seeds there. So crunchy sesame and poppy seeds and nigella seeds with this dressing on your green beans with broccoli. I mean, honestly, how can you not already thinking about making those two? So make your cooking easy and exciting with those two super easy and simple tricks. Until the next time.